On the plus side, if you're in the unique opportunity of the guy I work with, you're making more money on unemployment than you were working 40 hours a week.
It's
Yep. He's making $140 more per week on unemployment than he was working full time. So it's just like, that's really screwed up. Which means he's making more than his coworker, who's currently doing 40 hours a week, while he's only doing 20.
great.
America's great.
Yeah, great use of money.
Mm-hmm. We're just hoping it comes back to bite him in the butt in his taxes next year. That'd be great.
Is he like working the system? Is that what he's doing?
Sorry, what was that?
Is he working the system?
No. Yeah, he's working the system. He's taking full advantage wherever he can.
Why would he brag about that though?
And that's the issue. Is just nobody's checking in on that. I know. I mean, why would you brag? That's bad. You get in a lot of trouble for doing that.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna do something illegal. Don't tell people.
You know, yeah. Well, I think he's just decided how much money he's making. He can't help but tell people how much.
Good.
Yep. Pretty much.
You sir, an imbecile. What does that mean? Yep.
Well, get this. The best part. He's 30, and he lives with his dad.
All right.
Yeah. He doesn't pay any bills. He doesn't have to do anything. And we're just like, are you serious, dude? You're 30. Like 30. Doesn't I would feel terrible if I still lived here at 30.
Yeah.
I don't intend to, actually. We've got plans to try to be out of here before the end of the year. So
That'd be cool.
I mean, just the logic.
Have you guys been looking at
least
places
on his
already?
end. Not a whole lot. There's not much right now just because nobody wants to do anything.
Oh.
Or their prices are ridiculously high. People are really trying to take advantage right now. It's scary. There's like no regard for
Human life.
anything. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you can't pay your bills? Awesome, we'll make them larger.
Well, no, it's like, oh, you can't pay your bills? Well, maybe you should have thought of that and got a better job before the pandemic happened. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Thanks. How was I supposed to know
Yeah, how are we supposed to
pandemic
know
was going to happen?
it's something like this that
How am I
has never
supposed to get a
happened
better
before?
job? Yeah, how am I supposed to literally in this city? People only hire and promote their friends and family members. They won't hire somebody they don't know. You know,
Yeah. Sucks.
like when I worked at the car dealership. I'm like, oh, this is an interesting group of people, and then I find out half of them are all married into the family of the owner or the manager, which is like, really? You hired a bunch of your son-in-laws and stuff like that? I wouldn't do that.
Entire family, huh? I'm gonna go to
Pretty much.
sleep.
Oh, yeah, give me a second. I was just getting some crops. I'll be in there just a second.
Oh, baby. Just gotta get out. We just gotta get right out. Yeah.
See, that was one of the funny things when I interviewed at the car dealership. It was like this mentality of like, oh, look at all these people, you know, like maybe one day I could be in the position of one of them, like managing or something. And then I find out they were all hired directly into management positions by the manager or the general manager himself,
Well,
which is just like, so they didn't work for it. They were just handed a free job,
it's called
free cushy job.
family.
Well, I just thought, how can they
It's
expect
called
me to want to stay
incest.
on with the expectation of being able to be promoted if he's just going to hire his family to work instead of, you know, an actual employee who works?
No, oh, I don't have an arrow. Up.
Gosh, we have so many crops. Also, my game is lagging again. Dang it! Kidding? Why? Everybody's gone. Shouldn't be lagging.
Oh.
Okay. Time to sleep.
I'm coming. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna drink some tea.
Oh.
I'm gonna drop sleep.
Soy calvo.
Oh, that's a carrot.
Hey yo, Mr. Bunny Rabbit, let me suck on that carrot.
Sir, this is a Wendy's. So do you want that small, medium, or large?
Sir, this is a Wendy's. We don't believe in carrots here. Is that small, medium, or large? The guy's like, no one. Everyone's told me to leave. I wasn't expecting you to say this.
The jungle out there, Frodo.
But is it? Is
Yeah,
it real?
Frodo. Yeah.
So, Jordan, what I was asking before you had to reset your internet was, of all of Tolkien's lore, who's your favorite character?
Oh, ooh, that's a hard question. I think. Oh, I'm trying to remember what his name is. It's
George, I already said Jar Jar. You can't say that one.
Jar Jar. I didn't realize that there was a crossover. No, I can't remember his name. He's a god dog from the Silmarillion. So one of the gods is like the god of the hunt and things like that.
Is that the bear guy?
And he had a bunch of dogs.
From the Hobbit?
no.
The bear guy from the Hobbit?
No, not him. Is one of the gods that are like, you know, they're over the eagles. They were the first ones created. They're on par with
Oh, the Maiar?
yeah, the Maiar. No, those are the
Maiar is
think they're- no,
Gandalf.
what are
I
they
think
called?
Gandalf's a Maiar.
yeah, Gandalf's the Maiar. I can't remember.
You know what's really cool is Stephen Colbert
It
is...
says at the beginning, the ones that were the first created.
Oh, okay. What's cool, dude, is Stephen Colbert, I found out, is a massive Lord of the Rings geek.
Fair enough. I think he's a Star Wars geek too.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he loves Star Wars too.
Yeah, he knows so much about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was gonna say with that dog though, the reason it's my favorite is because the god who initially created it, who it belonged to, he gave it to I don't even remember who he gave it to. He gave it to someone to as a gift to sort of like be a companion throughout their life. Oh, okay, I remember. It was some of the first elves, the ones who basically revolted and left the Undying Lands to go to Middle-earth. He gave it to one of them, and by the time they had got near the end of their lives, they were arrogant. They were practically villains themselves. And they were going to kill a character who was doing heroic deeds because he got in their way. And the dog knew that they were doing wrong. He was just kind of, because he was gifted to them, so he was just kind of following along, because what was he supposed to do?
Yeah.
But when he saw them about to kill somebody who he knew shouldn't be killed, he got in the way, he fought them off, and then he started following this guy, and this guy and the woman he married, they ended up being the progenitors of the the elves, like Elrond, and the humans that Aragorn's part of,
The Numenorians.
what is it, Numor? Yeah, they ended up being they're basically the couple that I think it was their kid married another person, and from them you had Elrond and I don't know. It's weird. They're all connected, but anyway, what was fun about it is Sauron got all hot and bothered by this couple because they were just literally the epitome of everything he hated.
Yeah.
And when he heard that this dog was protecting them, he decided, because the legend about the dog was that it would be killed by the most powerful wolf in the land. So he decided he would become a werewolf, because surely he'd be the most powerful wolf in the land. And he attempted to kill the dog, and it kicked his butt. It just wrecked him.
Oh.
And it said that he took off cowering, afraid, because he was so sure of himself, and he got owned. And it's such a fun part of the book, because it's like, wow, the big baddie just got destroyed by a dog. That's so funny.
Where are the rings in the public domain?
I don't think so. I think it's in the Tolkien. I
Probably
think it's in
not.
the Tolkien estate.
Yeah, I think they own it. Yeah, Tolkien still owns it. But anyway, I just liked him because it's just like you have the guy that we all recognize as the main villain gets his butt kicked by this dog that nobody knows anything about.
Yeah.
Because know how many people have actually read the Silmarillion.
I don't know. Not as many.
Not many. But it just kind of put things into place as well, because you think how much more powerful were the ancient characters in comparison to the ones we have in the movies.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I think's really cool about like the books and the movies is like, yeah, they're similar, but they're still very different. And so it's almost like getting another experience, which I think for me, watching the movies first before I read the books, I don't think it will be as upsetting to me, I guess, if I find parts that are like, oh, that would have been cool if they would have left in. Because anything after that's just a gift. It's like, man, that's cool to have.
Mm-hmm. It's a bonus.
Yeah, bonus. That's
Nicely laid on the top. Yep.
One more layer. How those headphones treating your ears, Zay? Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice and soft.
Yeah, I kind of had to break them in a little bit, but yeah, they're really nice now.
They don't squeeze your head at all.
They do, but like in a good way, like secure.
He's a gamer.
Ooh, dude, there's an ocelot. I'm totally going to get a fish. Get us anti-creeper defense.
Okay. No.
This guy, were you cooking stone?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, just want to check. Looks like it's all done, by the way.
Pull it out if you want. You use that.
No, I just checked to see if there was anything in there. We need to find bamboo.
Wait. Bamboo, eh?
Yeah, I don't think there's any near us where we're at. But it'd be nice to find some. Okay, where's the cat?
What am I doing? Oh, I guess I'll just do that. Let me try this first. What did the cats do again?
They scare creepers away.
You should name him Rad. What's so funny, dude? Then can I get an Oscar?
Yeah.
Hey, Oscar, can I get a Thane?
Yeah.
Sorry, we only give Oscar and no talent
Oscars
people.
to serious dramas.
Hey, Oscar, how was your gaycation?
I thought of that 15 minutes after you left.
Hey, I found a parrot
You should name him
and a
You should
llama.
name him Jacques.
Oh, I have to be able to tame. I don't have anything to tame him with.
Berries.
I am gonna kill this llama though, because I can get leather from him. Sorry, llama. You are. Oh. There we go. You're dead.
Rip Llama Chan. Rip Cusco.
You are dead to me.
The parrot just watched it all. My parrot's seen things.
George,
Didn't see
George,
what-
you're gonna give that parrot PTS, parrot TSD.
He'll probably go and throw himself off a trap.
But George, he can
Well,
fly,
fine.
so he's just playing with himself.
It won't make much difference as
Yeah.
a parrot, but still.
Yeah.
Play with himself.
I'm lagging now. Crap.
I got a
I'm-
virus. I got a virus.
Creeper just went off.
Creeper.
Oh my.
Oh man.
Probably should keep a couple pieces of wood layer.
So I actually, I read a thing the other day that said that Idaho, internet of every state in the United States.
That's the worst.
Yep.
Worse than like Montana and like North Dakota.
Yep.
Really?
It's because there is literally no coverage outside of cities, and a good portion of people live outside of cities. You only have like 2 cities in the entire state that have high-speed internet.
Boise and Pocatello.
Boise and Idaho Falls. The rest don't have high speed.
Well, looks like I won't be moving back anytime soon.
Yeah. The report on coverage, basically, like worst internet through a variety of things, but based primarily around the fact that we have such poor coverage. You know, like the internet really only gets to a fraction of the entire population,
Yeah.
so therefore it is the worst internet service in the nation. Kind of depressing. Why has nobody done anything about that?
Probably because they're like, you know what? Old people live in Idaho. That's just an old people state.
But it's not. Certain parts, sure, but most. There's a lot of young people
Dang.
in
So I just looked it up. So these are the top 5.
Boise.
So according to this 2020, New Jersey has a 52 megabytes per second average speed. So New Jersey's the best. Second is Connecticut. Third is Rhode Island. Fourth is New York. Fifth is Massachusetts.
You should look up
Hmm.
Japan's average internet speeds, eh? That'll blow your mind.
Like 3 gigabytes per second.
So it says the top 5 worst ones 2020 are Wyoming, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Montana is the worst one. So they get 20.3 megabytes per second.
What's their average?
That's
Yeah, that's their
That's-
average.
still better than what we get. 20?
Well,
I get 3.
It says Idaho's average is 25.6.
Maybe if you're counting Boise. Well, I'm just saying, like, in terms of, it's not how much data we get, like, not on a single metric, but on the metric of how much data and how many people have access to that data.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they rated us as the worst, because very few of the population has access to that kind of data. I don't know. I've noticed that it's better, like, it's way better in certain places. But there's a zoning thing where companies get away with giving it in a neighborhood that's outside of city limits. They'll give it to one house, whatever one's closest to the city limits. Like a good example would be, on the hill that borders the golf course, give it to the last house on that hill. They can count that neighborhood as house in that neighborhood that's covered,
Oh.
despite the fact that they don't give it to anybody else in the neighborhood. I don't know why. It doesn't, to me, I can't find a reason, but it's an issue that people have actually been fighting about in Idaho for a while, especially in Burley.
Is cell phone coverage there horrible too? Like at your house?
No, cell phone coverage is fine. It's just internet. I don't know. Like, I genuinely have no idea why we can't get better service. Like, I called a company. I told them we have fiber optic cables hooked up. Can you come look at them? They said they would, and then they just canceled. Said that they're like, oh, sorry, we don't provide any support or coverage house. It's like, I gave you my address. You couldn't have told me that before. Like,
Like, yeah, you know what?
seriously.
We don't care.
Oh no, they don't.